So I couldn't believe I made it. I couldn't believe I was actually alive. I was actually happy. I actually succeeded in everything that I wanted.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, you. What's up? I'm all right. How are you?
I'm listening to Madam Hero. I want to know how you came up with the title.
I was actually very excited to hear you listen to it. I came up with the title because I believe all women are heroes, especially when it comes like when it starts from having kids to raise a family to work hard. So I believe all women are heroes. So yeah, and I feel like sometimes, especially here, they don't get appreciated that much. That's why.
Well, I love it. Ask me who my hero is.
Who is your hero?
My
Who
hero's
is it?
my mother.
Oh, that's so
She's
beautiful.
she's my
Oh,
hero. She's
that's
my
sweet.
hero. I would not be having this interview with you. I would not to get to do all the great things I'm able to do. I tell people all the time, you need to find people who big you up, who are in your corner, who support
Definitely,
you. And
definitely.
that lady has been in my corner, cheering me on, crying. She'd sell her rings for me. She'd
Oh,
do anything for me. She's my hero. So and I completely agree
oh,
with you.
that's sweet. That's sweet. I can't wait for my kids to grow up and actually see me as their hero. They better
Well,
do.
yeah, there'll be stages. How's that? There'll be stages. But
Definitely,
um,
definitely.
Hamisa, so I get to do this, which is called self-made. I get to talk to
Hmm.
artists and entertainers, musicians, business people, sports, all over the
Hmm.
world. I
Hmm.
started this called self-made because I love hearing not the success. I like hearing the struggle because that's what motivates me.
Hmm.
What does self-made mean to you?
For me, basically, it means when one individual actually works so hard and achieve a lot of all of their goals and on their own. I think that's what it means to me when a person works so hard to achieve everything that they want in life and they actually get it, they get to their goals. I think that's it.
Do you think, because everyone has a different answer, do you think you've achieved your goals?
Yeah, I think 2 years like 2 years back is when I actually got everything I've ever wanted in life. You know, growing up, you have your own goals. You have this place in life where you want to go, and not that I don't want more. Not that now I'm actually aiming for more. But oh my gosh, what I actually wanted at that time, I actually got it, and I felt so happy because I worked so hard. So I believe like 2 years back, I got everything that I've ever wanted in life. Although now I want more. Although now I'm working so hard to achieve more, but I'm actually happy that Rick Ross has commented something. Hi. So
I love you, Ross.
so yeah,
So what were those goals 2 years ago? What happened?
I wanted my own. They're not big of a deal. I wanted to have more than two businesses. I wanted to be a brand ambassador for a couple of companies. I wanted my own plot of a house, a big plot. I wanted to have at least two cars. So I got it. Like I had everything that I wanted 2 years back, and that's when I was like 24 because I'm turning 27 this December. So I was happy. For me, it was a big deal.
Did you, when it happened, did you
Mm,
appreciate it?
I did. I cried because I remember I cried on my birthday. I cried so hard because I went through some difficulties a few years back. So I couldn't believe I made it. I couldn't believe I was actually alive. I was actually happy. I actually succeeded in everything that I wanted. I was so happy. I was so grateful to God. I was like, thank you, God. It's because of you I'm here. And my mom has been my number one supporter from the beginning.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, when I cried, she was actually with me. So I was so happy.
So
Yeah.
I'll give you my struggles, which I love to say because I think transparency helps people. They make you realize, boy, it wasn't easy. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, my when I started, I was lost for 30 years. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. That's a struggle. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard. You don't know. And then for me, it was things like my first 6 years of doing this business was just terrible. Like it was just, I didn't trust myself, and I lost money, and I lost my house, but it's been
Aw.
amazing ever since. But it's great. So for you, like, you don't have to, like, what does struggles mean? Like, what did you think, like, when you think back, what did you have to go through to get to that moment 2 years ago?
So for me, I remember like that was like 6 years ago. I was like 19, going to 20 years. I got pregnant. I was actually in a mission of opening my own business, like my first business. And in the process, I ended up getting pregnant for my first child. Her name is Fantasy. So, and then I had to stop everything. And then I actually wished, I was actually hoping a happily ever after with her father. And then we broke up right after I had my baby. So we broke up, and then I had to start from the start. Mind you, I was actually like planning, I had my life together, I had everything that I wanted together on in like sets, and then all of a suddenly everything collapsed, and then you have to start from the beginning. So I think that was so hard for me. And then I was like, okay. But then I think that I never gave up, even for a second, and I remember when I started, so apparently for me, I used to think maybe I have a bad luck or something, because everything that I tried, like I remember my modeling days, when I started modeling, people were saying, oh my gosh, she's fat. Oh, she has big
Mm.
hips. She has big thighs. Models are supposed to be skinny. But then I was like, you could separate me from all other models. I had something unique inside of me. And I think that's something that made me stand out. So I believe I was never made to fit in. So I worked hard. And then my modeling days, I did good. After that, I started my own businesses. And then when I wanted to work with companies in terms of being a brand ambassador, a lot of people didn't, a lot of companies didn't believe in me. And then I was like, why? Because I think that was back then when my country usually didn't take like brand ambassadors from our country. Like even the models, a lot of models for products and everything were from other countries.
From
So I
other
was like,
countries. Yep.
yeah. So then I was like, when are these people actually going to use people like me, who are here? And then it actually got to that point, and I was like, yay. So the first company I worked with is a hair company. It's called Prima Afro. I'm still with them. This has been the third year since I started working with them. So when they believed in me, all other companies followed, and I'm like, yay, I'm good. I'm like, I'm good at this. I'm good at what I do. And I was so happy that people are actually finally realizing me, seeing me for who I am, for the hard work that I have. You know, I believe sometimes when people see you on the ground, they don't see the struggle.
Correct.
Especially if you're a woman, they just see this pretty face, a Barbie doll who's just posing and smiling. They don't know that you work 24 hours, you work so hard, and you just don't post your struggles, because I believe nobody cares about your struggle until you make it.
Yep.
Because now, Brett, you are able to tell your story because you
Yep.
have made it.
Correct.
Yeah, you are
Correct.
successful, but when you're starting, even if you tell anybody, nobody cares,
Correct.
because people care more about the results. They don't care
Correct.
about your struggles. Yeah.
Do you
So
use do you use the people who say no and you can't do it and you don't look right? Is that a chip on your shoulder? Do you use that?
do I what?
Do you use that as motivation when people say no, you
I
can't
did.
do
I
it?
did at back. Yeah, I did back then. I really did, especially the modeling days, because I wanted to be unique. I loved my body. I was like, I look good in everything I wear. So why do I have to be so skinny?
Yeah.
So the moment I started catwalking, I started walking on that, on the stages and everything, and on the fashion shows. Everything was just beautiful, and everybody was so happy. So when they saw people cheering for me back then, everybody was just so happy, and everybody said, "Oh, she's good, she's good." I was like, "Okay, at least now you can see." Yeah,
With your you have a massive audience, huge audience
yeah,
that follow you.
yeah.
Do you remember the first time someone recognized you
Like in the streets.
in the street? Just they knew who you
Yeah,
were.
I actually do, and it's still it's for me, because I'm not like, I don't talk much in person. A lot of people here think I'm so quiet, And so the first time, it's still, for me, it's still, sometimes I walk down the streets, I walk around, I forget that I'm famous here, and then boom, somebody's like noticed me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, here we are back. And they still do not do with the fans. Like still today, if I meet a fan who is crying or so happy to see me, I still don't know what to do. It's still,
Yeah.
for me, it's still like, oh my gosh, why is this person crying? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I start apologizing for something that I didn't do, and there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I hope one day I'll actually get used to it. Yeah.
Can you appreciate why your fans like you? Meaning, like, you're inspiring other girls, you're inspiring women, you're giving them hope, you're giving the, you know, whether it's a single mom or whether it's starting a business or whether it's going in a different direction like music. Do you see why why your fans like you?
First of all, because first of all, I believe because I have of the achievements at the same time of how I work hard. Thirdly, because you know, life is not always smooth. So I
Yeah.
have dealt with some difficulties whereby Instagram people have witnessed, and they always see how I have overcome it, and I think that's one of the reasons they like me for is my strength. I believe that I'm able to like pass anything, to work toward anything, whatever the storm, whatever the difficulties. I believe that I can like move on from anything.
Did you ever, because I can imagine people telling you, no, you can't do this, you
I'm
shouldn't
so
do this.
I'm so used to the you can't. I'm so used to the you can't do this, you can't do that. Why do you have to do this? They actually told me that so many times. Even now, some people are still telling me, you shouldn't do music. I think, but they're only telling me that because they prefer me in the fashion part, because
The way
that's
they
what
see
they
you.
do. Yeah, they just like to see this girl looks pretty, always looking good. That's what they like. That's Hamisa. That's the Hamisa in their head. So I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm actually going to sing. And I don't care. You guys are going to listen regardless.
So
Yeah.
who is there anybody around you you trust if they said don't do this, or would you still do it because it's your
I
it's
remember
you?
when I started singing, my ex from that time, I was dating a man, and he was so against it. He was so against it, and I believe he still is, but it doesn't matter anymore. But he was so against it, and he broke my heart because I felt like he was the only person in the world that could actually support me
Yeah.
or actually believe in me, because he knew me, like he knew for me for who I am. So he did not approve of it, but I didn't back out. I didn't back down. I was like, I'm doing this regardless. And now he's not in the picture. I'm glad I did not give up on my dreams.
Because and at some point, and I could say the same thing. At some point, you realize I don't need anybody else. I don't need
Very
their
true.
approval. I don't
Very,
need. I can do this.
very true. You're right. And for me, like the only person who can actually like break my heart so deeply is my mother. But she is the only person in this whole universe who never like tell me no, you cannot do this. She's
Yeah.
the only one, always my cheerleader, always making sure I do this, always supports me. She always believes that I can do it, and every time that she does, I ended up doing it, and I do good.
So, what's the next goal? What's the next thing you want to achieve?
Now I actually want to finish my album. We're still working on it. At first, I really wanted my EP.
Yeah.
But then they were like, my management, everybody that I work with, were like, why do you want to do something small? If you want to
Yeah.
do something, you should actually do something big. So I was like, okay, album it is. So we're still working on the album. We're like in the last stages. So I'm just hoping for the best.
Anybody outside of Africa you'd want to collab with?
Definitely, yeah, one, Rick Ross.
Rick Rick will do it. Rick is down.
Yeah,
Anybody?
for anybody else, the Nicki Minaj or Chris Brown. Yeah, I know that's a long shot, but okay.
Anybody within Africa?
Within Africa, definitely, I would love to work with who, Davido or Wizkid. Yeah,
Do, um, do you want to see your music trend uh, outside of East Africa? Meaning,
Yes, I want the whole world to know me. I want the whole world to know my name. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I'm having big hopes in my heart.
I absolutely love you. I completely.
I love you too.
I'm very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate that I get to have these conversations. But I'm very fortunate because I completely understand why you have such a huge audience, and
Aw, thank
you are
you.
just completely authentic. And now I get why you have
Aw,
such
this
big
means a
fans.
lot
It's
to me.
awesome. It's awesome.
Aw,
I
thank you so much.
I love hearing your
It means a lot.
story. I love hearing your story. You've given me motivation. I love being motivated, and anything I can do for you, please ask. Keep going. Don't stop.
Definitely. And you guys, I would love for you to visit Tanzania. It's beautiful. You're gonna love it here.
And it's going to happen as soon as we get this COVID crap out of the way. It's going to happen. Thanks,
Thank you
everybody.
so much.
Thank
It was
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye bye, everybody.